Welcome back to the channel, aviation enthusiasts and future mobility fans. Today we have a groundbreaking story that is poised to change the way we travel in our cities forever, bringing the long-awaited promise of flying cars and air taxis one massive step closer to reality. For years, we have been hearing about vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, or VTOLs, taking over our skies. But one of the biggest hurdles has always been the infrastructure needed to keep these electric marvels powered up and flying. Well, that major roadblock is finally being dismantled. Two of the most prominent players in the electric aviation space, Archer Aviation and Beta Technologies, have officially joined forces with Macquarie Capital to establish a revolutionary new organization called Americas Consortium for Electric Skyways, or ACES. This newly formed consortium is setting out with a singular, monumental goal, which is to build what can essentially be described as the Supercharger network for electric aviation and VTOLs across the United States. If you look at how Tesla transformed the electric vehicle landscape by building out a robust and reliable charging infrastructure, you can begin to understand exactly what ACES is attempting to do for the three-dimensional airspace above our congested urban centers. The sheer scale and ambition of this project cannot be overstated, as the organization has already mapped out a comprehensive strategy to support the deployment of electric aviation chargers to 250 distinct air taxi sites across the nation. These charging hubs will be strategically located at the largest airports and busiest metropolitan areas, specifically targeting states that are primed for early air taxi adoption, including California, Texas, Florida, and New York. Over the course of the next 10 years, ACES plans to meticulously roll out and deploy cutting-edge charging hardware that is manufactured directly by Beta Technologies itself. What is truly remarkable about this hardware is that it is built entirely on the combined charging standard, a universally recognized solution that has been officially endorsed by the General Aviation Manufacturers Association and is already broadly utilized by various eVTOL developers across the industry. This is a crucial point because it means that Archer Aviation and Beta Technologies are not trying to create a walled garden or an exclusive charging network that only services their own specific aircraft. Instead, they are taking a highly collaborative approach, designing an open and accessible charging ecosystem meant to be shared with all other electric aviation manufacturers. This open network philosophy is exactly what the industry needs to ensure that electric air taxis become a common, reliable, and ubiquitous sight in the skies above our cities, rather than a fragmented novelty. Naturally, as the founding members of the consortium, ACES has stated that they will initially prioritize the deployment of this critical charging infrastructure in the specific markets where Archer and Beta plan to launch their inaugural commercial operations. However, once those primary markets are fully established and operational, the consortium has clear intentions to bring additional infrastructure providers, new original equipment manufacturer partners, and significant capital investments into the network, effectively scaling up the entire electric aviation industry all at once. This collaborative effort represents a massive leap forward for urban air mobility, transforming it from a futuristic concept into a tangible, commercially viable transportation alternative. To fully appreciate the impact of this network, it is important to look at the aircraft that will be utilizing it. Archer Aviation, for instance, is one of the very few VTOL manufacturers in the world that has successfully secured the massive financial and manufacturing backing of a major global automotive powerhouse, specifically Stellantis. With this incredible level of support, Archer has been rapidly developing its flagship aircraft, known as the Midnight. The Midnight is an absolute marvel of modern engineering, an electric aircraft specifically designed to carry a pilot and up to 4 passengers over distances of up to 100 miles or 160 kilometers on a single charge. Furthermore, it is capable of achieving impressive cruising speeds that can reach up to 150 miles per hour or 241 kilometers per hour. When you combine an aircraft with these performance capabilities with a widespread, universally accessible fast charging network, the potential for disrupting traditional ground-based commuting is absolutely staggering. Imagine being able to bypass hours of gridlocked highway traffic by taking a smooth, quiet, and zero-emission flight across the city in a fraction of the time. The creation of America's Consortium for Electric Skyways is the definitive signal that the United States is officially preparing to go airborne, laying down the essential foundational infrastructure required before VTOLs flood city skies.
The commitment from Macquarie Capital also brings serious financial muscle and infrastructure development expertise to the table, ensuring that the ambitious rollout of these 250 charging sites is not just a pipe dream, but a fully funded and strategically managed reality. Building aviation infrastructure requires navigating complex regulatory frameworks, securing real estate in highly dense urban environments, and upgrading local power grids to handle the massive electrical loads required for fast-charging multi-ton aircraft. Macquarie Capital has a long history of successfully managing large-scale infrastructure projects, which makes their involvement a massive vote of confidence in the financial viability of the eVTOL market. As the global push for sustainable transportation intensifies, the aviation sector has been under immense pressure to decarbonize, and electric VTOLs represent the most promising solution for short-haul intra-city travel. However, just like the early days of the electric car revolution, range anxiety and charging accessibility have been the primary concerns for both operators and potential passengers. By proactively addressing the infrastructure challenge head-on, ACES is effectively removing the biggest bottleneck to the widespread commercialization of electric air taxis. This network will essentially serve as the backbone of a completely new transportation paradigm, one where the skies are seamlessly integrated into our daily commuting habits. It will be incredibly fascinating to watch how quickly other eVTOL manufacturers sign on to utilize the ACES network, and how traditional airports and city planners adapt their facilities to accommodate these new charging hubs. We are going to see existing parking garages, airport terminals, and corporate headquarters transformed into vertiports, seamlessly blending ground and air transportation. The next decade is going to be a transformative period for aviation, and the groundwork being laid today by Archer, Beta, and Macquarie Capital will undoubtedly be remembered as a pivotal turning point in transportation history.
We are standing on the precipice of a new era of flight, one that promises to be cleaner, quieter, and more accessible than ever before. Thank you all for tuning in to this in-depth look at the future of electric aviation and the massive infrastructure project that is about to change our skylines forever. If you found this update exciting and want to stay informed on all the latest developments in urban air mobility and the electric vehicle revolution, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments below if you would be willing to take a ride in an electric air taxi once this charging network is fully operational. Drive safe, fly safe, and we will catch you in the next one.